Hello, everyone. So it's no longer news, right, that there have been pockets of protests across Nigeria. There was one in Mina, which I did a video on. There's also another one that had happened in Kano. We had some state in the west and some other kind pockets of protests that have happened in different places. But the thing here is there's this statement that I'm just seeing now coming from the All Progressive Congress, the APC National Secretariat. And so they say that opposition parties instigating mass protests to undermine government. But before I even give you, I read out this statement, I think just look at the video from Kano and what it's saying.
The protesters, who are mostly youths, were seen carrying various placards along Airport Road and also along Murtala Mohammed Way in Kano Metropolis and chanting, "We want subsidy on petrol back, open Nigerian borders, address the rising fall of the naira, people are dying of hunger, all due to high cost of food." They also claim they can no longer send their children to school due to financial constraint.
What our leaders are doing to us, the masses, is so unfair, and we have been pushed to the wall. Life is so difficult. Our children can no longer go to school due to hunger and our inability to pay their school fees. Prices of food items keep increasing on daily basis. Our borders are closed. We want it open.
We are really suffering in this country. A bag of local rice in the market is around 60,000 naira. We can no longer afford it. Our children are just sitting down at home. There is no money to pay for their school fees. This is not what we expect from the government. The youth vowed to mobilize more people on the street to show how unhappy they are over the rising cost of food items in the market, as they can no longer afford it. They are asking President Bola Tinubu to urgently open Nigerian borders and also restore the payment of subsidy on petrol. The closure of Nigerian borders is one of the major things that plunged the country into.
That is it. And I think everybody is feeling the hardship that is going around in the country. It's not something that you need to tell anyone about. Whatever category of life that you are in terms of wealth, in terms of money, one way or the other, you must have felt the hardship that is going on in Nigeria. Even those who are billionaires in terms of dollars, they are also feeling it. Some of them, their monies are reducing, their values are reducing, and all of that. So everyone is feeling the hardship. It's just that unfortunately, the poor will always be the ones that will suffer the most. Where you're talking about the basic things that are needed in life, they are unable to get it. But let's come back to this statement that was put out by APC and the APC National Secretariat, and there are some SSAs that have picked this up and they're flying with it. So let's read this statement and see what it says. It says opposition parties instigating mass protests to undermine government. In its arrant desperation to portray the All Progressive Congress APC-led administration as underperforming, opposition parties have resorted to instigating unsuspecting young people to protest in the streets of some major cities. The protests in Mina and Kano on Monday were the manifestations of devious and unpatriotic plots. That the protests happened simultaneously in both cities is not coincidental. It bears a bold stamp of an orchestrated and coordinated effort to instigate unrest and undermine the government. The mercenary opposition tactics is a clear and present threat to public peace and national security. While we recognize the right of citizens to engage in peaceful protest, we urge our good people to be vigilant and not lend themselves to the treacherous attempt by the opposition to promote social strife by its incendiary rhetoric and manipulative plots. Bola Tinubu-led administration is solidly committed to doing everything in its power to mitigate the transient plans of this transit to mitigate the transient pains of critically important reforms that are crucial to economic recovery and sustainable prosperity for all Nigerians. It behoves us as good citizens of our beloved country to stand fast with our government in this noble strive. In due time, these policy reforms will yield enduring beneficial transformation of the material conditions of life in the country. We implore Nigerians to shun the guile and unpatriotic attempt by opposition elements to destabilize the country for their own base and parochial political gain. Signed, Felix Morka, Esquire, National Publicity Secretary. So this is what the APC party has to say about the things that are going on. But hey, everyone is feeling the hunger. Everyone is feeling the effect. Nobody has to tell anyone anything. And I think if opposition were going to do something orchestrated, then they're not just going to pick two cities. They're actually going to do 36 cities and have it out there. And that also the opposition don't need to hide behind anyone to call for a protest. Opposition parties are very much free in their constitutional rights to be able to come together, whether one party or different parties, and go for a protest. So they don't need to hide behind anything. And what is happening, the hardship, the pain that is going on in the country is enough for any party to come together and actually, have their protest if that's what they want to do. So I don't think it's something that opposition should be hiding behind anyone. But as it is, I'm quite surprised that protest is no longer haram. And in Kano, they're actually doing protests. I remember how much of insult that I, as a person, got because of the of protests. And when I say citizens need to make demands for better governance, for better, for transparency, for accountability, and for development, and for lives to matter in our country, the kind of attacks I used to get, and I'm told sometimes that I'm not even a Muslim because of the fact that I'm holding a leader accountable, and that in Islam you're not supposed to do this and that. So I'm wondering what is it that has changed now that this whole protests are going on. But hey, I've always said one thing over and over again for when people talk about revolution and all of that. I'm like, look, that protest that will rejig things, right? Now, nobody is going to call for it. Nobody is going to say, hey, let's meet at so and so place and come and do a protest. Nobody is going to say, hey, this is the color. We're going to do these placards. We're going to do these banners. Everybody will carry their leg and be on the street. Because people will feel it, the suffering. Nobody is going to tell you that, oh, you're going through so much. Everybody is going through it, and everybody is feeling it, and that's the reality on ground. Unfortunately, that's what we have. And so it's left for people. Nobody is going to be telling anyone that, oh, you need to do this or you don't need to do this. Now their body themselves, now their body, now everybody body now go tell them.